Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. P with Mr. P Explorers, and today we find ourselves deep, literally deep, in the wilds of West Virginia. We are in the New River Gorge searching for an old mining town called Nuttallburg. We just came down a long gravel road that I probably should not have driven my car down in search of an old mining town that was once down here and is no longer. Looking for the ruins of that. Nuttallburg was founded by John Nuttall right here in about 1870. He built mines here, and there were, several hundred people working down here. He worked with Henry Ford at one point. It was operational for 85 years, and things kind of played out, and now the place is just a state park. So we're going to be checking out to see what's here, hiking the trail, and you'll get to come along with us and see what we find. So get ready for some West Virginia hiking, and we'll see what's out there. And what we're looking at right now is Nuttall Creek, named after John Nuttall. Beautiful spot. Onward to look for ruins. And what we have here appears to be stone, sandstone, and what looks to be a set of steps leading up the side of the mountain here. I don't know how far we'll be able to get, but this was all part of the town at one point. And as you can see, it's all covered up in vegetation, but this was all part of Nuttallburg. Who knows where this might have led at one point. There's probably buildings up on top of the ledge there. And we'll continue on and see what else we can find. Definitely some foundations up there. Definitely back there. What you're looking at right now is foundation. Looks to be a doorway there. Probably part of the mining town. Right next to the steps we just saw. We are definitely deep in the New River Gorge. Not one single bar on my phone right now. Totally cut off from civilization. And one of our first ruins here. Looks to be a fireplace. best ruins are still to come down this way. This is actually the mining facility, the tipple that put the ore and coal into the actual train cars. All the original stone walls are still here. Look at this. Wow. So what you have up here are the conveyors. And you can kind of see off to the side here the platform where the conveyors would have brought the actual material down onto the train cars. Luckily, a lot of this has been maintained over the years and rebuilt by West Virginia as part of the state park, but you know, looking up, you can definitely see a lot of this is the original material. And we are actually going to walk up the mountain and follow the conveyors to the top. That's the goal anyway. Look at that. And you can hear it, but you can't really see it that well. But the New River is right down below us. And right below us here also is an existing train line. It's probably fed this coal tipple way back in the day. The river's right out there. Hopefully we'll be able to get close to it and get you a shot of the rapids. This place is amazing. All up the hill that goes. And we're going to go up those steps in just a few minutes and see what else is up there. Oh, electrical box. Hopefully you can see this, but this thing goes all the way up the side of the mountain, all the way to the top of the gorge, all the way up there. Check this out. Old mining equipment. It's been left behind. Once part of a thriving mining community. And what we have here before us is the old company store. Since the town was owned by the company owned the store, and rather than giving you money to pay for goods and services, they gave you what they called company scrip, which was basically company money that you would use to spend in the store. And this is what's left of the Nuttallburg store. Even some cool equipment here. Not quite sure what any of this is. At one point, all the miners would have shopped here. There would have been shelves, there would have been goods. All throughout this store. Here you have what might have been a gas pipe for a stove or some kind, or an oven. And this here might have been part of that. You can still see bricks from the original building here. Might have been the above floors. And now we're going to check out the coke ovens. At one point this operation needed lots of charcoal, and the best way to do that was to cut down trees and turn it into charcoal, which is what these openings here are going to show you. Right here is a coke oven. So there's not much to see inside of there. It's fairly round in there. You may be able to pick that up. There's a better one over here that shows you just how big these things were that we're going to walk right into. This one right here. And in here you'll see the beehive shape of the coke oven. This is where they'd bring the wood in and burn it, and they'd mix it with some other things and turn it into charcoal, which was then used for other things. And if you look up right here, that's where the smoke would exit, And all along through here, this would have been blazing hot. Where I'm standing right now would have been an inferno. Luckily now we're able to get in here and take a look at it. I'm not sure what this structure was for. First guess, you want to say prison. There's several of these that have bars on them, for whatever reason. And this keeps on going and eventually gets swallowed up by the greenery. All the way on down the line. You probably can't see it too well here, but the rail line we were looking at earlier continues on here. Some of the rails are still there if we follow along. But when you get to the end here, you'll see that washouts have happened, and there's no way in heck you're getting a train through here now. And way back there in the trees, you can see one rail just went right over the cliff, and it's just kind of a mangled mess down there. This is where they used to have their siding. This is where the coal cars would have been. All the way on back to the tipple, which is back that way. Now, we have one last thing we're going to check out. An actual ghost town. Foundations of an old town, the old company town. It was called Seldom Seen, West Virginia. And, you know, adequately named because you really couldn't see it. Still can't without a little bit of a hike. So we're going to check that out right now and see what there is left to see of Seldom Seen. What you're seeing down there are the old railroad tracks that used to service this whole area. These were probably sidings for the coal cars. You have switches down there, and this goes on for quite a long ways. All left here abandoned out in the woods. A lot of the rails have been taken out already. Over here are more of the coke ovens we saw earlier, kind of collapsing in on themselves. On the trail to Seldom Seen, I think we found part of what's left of the homes here. Definite parts of the foundation left behind. Hard to see with all of the foliage. This is all part of the homes that used to be here. Used to be where the workers of Nuttallburg used to live and call home. not much more than ruins now. All right, continuing on. Lots more ruins here in the underbrush to see. All that glass you're seeing is glass that has been picked up from this site by other people that have been exploring, and they've set it down as kind of a memorial to the place. All pieces of glass that were once used by the miners that worked here, old bottles, things like that. So imagine you're a miner working about a half mile from here, and this is your home. You come home to this every night. These were the foundations. Probably filled in with wood at some point. You can see here some kind of old equipment. Wash pan of some kind. There's some more of the glass we were mentioning. Definitely some of it right here. Really good stuff here. Must have been one heck of a hard life living in here. Even considering the only way in really was rail line at that time. The road we came in was little more than a one-lane mountain road, all gravel. There was even a washout in one place where we actually had to be careful that we didn't slide down into the ravine. So this is a very remote place, even back in mining days. Glass there. And here you get a view of one of the foundations from up high. Even more of the miners' leavings here. Metal objects. And here's the treasure trove. All that glass. Old bottles. Old bowls. Chinaware, glassware. And just below you there is the New River. Since we are in the New River Gorge, a lot of kayakers have been going by, a lot of rafters have been going by. We've got Class 2 rapids down there. It's really hard to see. I'm not sure if you can see it on the video or not, but you can definitely hear it. Right below us we have some CSX tracks. We've had 2 trains come through, 2 freight trains come through, which is kind of bizarre seeing as how we're in such an isolated area. It's weird to see civilization mixed with not. So, but it's been a really cool hike, really cool exploration. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We are now going to head back up the horrible, terrible, unpaved gravel trail 10 miles back to civilization, back to the main road. So hopefully you enjoyed this little adventure. This is Mr. P as usual, saying as always, to keep on exploring wherever you go. Document it all.